Hello and welcome to another round of route analysis with me, Liam Lonsdale. Today I'm joined by Ireland's Eimir McSwiggan and we're going to be reviewing her finals performance from the round a few weeks ago in Beijing, China. So, Eimir, first moves of the route in the final, and of course, prior week in Cheongsong, you'd had that, I'm going to say, disastrous final. What was going through your head at this point?
Well, I think before I got on the wall, I was a bit petrified. The memory of Cheongsong was definitely there, and although you say when I get to the final, I just have to go for it, I didn't want to make the same mistake, and I think somehow in my mind I just had this vision of falling on every hold for the first maybe 2 or 3 clips, and everything just felt a little bit skatey. I wanted to double check everything. The last thing I wanted to do was fall at the start, so it did take me I think almost half the route before I really kind of start to feel more composed and more in control, and kind of got a flow to the climbing then.
And you can totally see that in your climbing. You know, you're not necessarily one of the fastest climbers anyway.
Yeah.
But this is like really slow.
Yeah, it's a little bit painful to watch because I look completely hesitant. It's probably very good for me to be watching this, just to see exactly like what it looks like, and that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
And I wasn't very confident in any hold, even this hold.
Which is a really good hold.
It was a really good hold, but I checked it from every side, just to make sure. And now as we move on to the intellect holds, these are probably the holds I'm most kind of insecure on, just because I haven't really trained on them so much, and yeah, maybe don't really trust myself to be able to hold such a static position. So yeah, I was quite cautious.
And then, I mean, I'm looking at the time now. So you've been climbing for 2.5 minutes almost already as you pass clip 1 and go towards clip 2. As you're starting to get these moves under your belt now, are you thinking, right, okay, I need to pick it up here, or are you still just totally petrified?
Well, I think here now I'm feeling a bit more comfortable.
Yeah,
and
you can see in the kick.
I guess I'm starting to think time is running out very quickly. Yeah, as I'm approaching the more kind of overhung part of the wall, I know that there's going to be better holds ahead. The intellect holds, like there was a few of the ones lower down that I didn't get the point, because the intellect hold, for people who don't climb, it's basically a little metal plate with tiny little divots on the plate, and you have to put your ice pick on the divot, and if you move your ice pick, it just skates out. And
you can see it there perfectly clear.
Yeah, there was 2 holds that I actually thought I had right, but when I got to them, I was actually behind the plate. So I wasn't really sitting on anything. So maybe a little bit lucky that I did go slowly.
Yeah. That extra tension kept you on the wall.
Yeah.
And so when you were reading this route, was there anything that stood out in particular as being a hard move, or there was an obvious crux?
Well, I think the move, it looked very straightforward. It had a nice flow to it. There was nothing very kind of convoluted or misleading. Like the route looked really nice. A few holds we weren't sure about. There's a infamous Krukanogi hold, which is like, it's a ball shape, and it's made of stainless steel metal, and it's basically really slippery. Well, I actually had never used it before this competition, and we saw that in the route preview. So I think in isolation we were all talking how we would do that move. Some people thought, oh, is it possible to bypass it and move to the next hold, which I did try, but yeah, the route, it looked nice. It didn't look that long, but it did take time because you had to move quite slowly in the bottom portion.
And you can see now that you're finding that rhythm, you're finding that flow, and I do like this structure because of how deceiving it is from the close-up angle. It doesn't look steep at all, and then as it pans out, you really get that perception of, I mean, you see there it's starting to get really steep. You see the angle of the quick draws. What point, I mean, you've got great endurance anyway, but at what point do you start to feel that pump setting in?
Well, I think at this stage, if you move quite slowly, you find that pump doesn't hit you as fast. So you're kind of always in control because you're shaking a little bit each time. So at this stage, this move, I tried to, first I thought about bypassing the hold on the right.
So this is that golf ball?
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I was a bit nervous there, I think everyone was. So when I got to this point, I think then I was completely relaxed and I just knew that time was going to go very quickly. And I think I sped up here.
Yeah, you really did, I remember it.
I think on this route, I didn't really feel that pumped, which is... It's never the best way to finish a climb because you know you haven't given it everything. This hold was quite interesting. It was a little metal hook. So
some people took them slightly differently. They took it with the handle of the axe, right?
Yeah, that's actually the next.
Oh, that's the next one. Sorry,
after the blue one. So this is another hold that I had seen people before using the handle of the axe.
There you go.
But I had decided I wasn't going to use the handle of the axe because I'd never held the ice axe that way, so I didn't know what it would feel like. But when I got there, I didn't think twice, and
you just went for it.
Yeah, I think it looked like it was a better option, and it worked.
And then so I remember this now. This was kind of getting right towards the end of your attempt. You were moving quickly. Like you're flicking between those figure fours and figure nines. What's going through your mind now as you know you've got less than a minute on the clock?
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm moving a little bit desperately. I think at this point you know that even touching a next hold or even trying to get the move or get a clip, like it can mean the difference in a place or two or three places. So... Yeah, I really wanted to get that hold, but
that was time up.
Yeah, time was up.
And so I remember at this point you coming down and you were kind of, you'll see on your face, you were just kind of chill about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Talk me through that period of time from coming off there and then realising how well you'd done, and then until the end where Masha topped and then that was you in second place.
Well, I suppose... I was first out to climb, so I was hoping to get high enough. I kind of felt that there was one or two moves, the last moves, that were quite difficult, and it's difficult to know what other competitors will be able to do. Like I knew there would be at least one top from Maria, and I guess I just wanted to watch the route. I wanted to see other people climb it. And I
remember during the broadcast, as soon as you came down, Maxim Tomilov actually commented there and then, he's like, Eimir's on the podium.
Yeah, you said that to me. So that made me very hopeful because Maxim has a lot of experience.
He knows what he's talking about, that's for sure.
Yeah, that did make me hope that maybe it was possible.
And so what did that silver medal mean to you?
It meant a huge amount. I think after Cheongsong, the disappointment you get when you do badly in a competition. I felt this year going into the Cheongsong World Cup, it was my best condition I've ever been in, and I looked at the route, and for the first time in my life I thought it's possible I could get to the top of this if everything went well and I climbed fast enough. So just to fall at the start was hard, and there was definitely a few moments or a day when I didn't want to go to China. You think it's too hard, but then within a few days you get on a plane and off you go, and it's a whole new start. You start again at qualifications. Like every competition is like such a roller coaster of emotion. You want to get through qualification, you don't want to make any mistakes, and then you get through qualification, and then you have to start thinking about semi-final, and it's a very different style of climbing. Normally semi-final can be the most technically difficult sometimes, but you have to also consider time, and then to get through to finals, then it's another step. So coming to China, coming to a new wall, I think it's an even playing field for everyone, because no one has climbed in the structure before, and it's kind of refreshing to go to a new place. And this was an amazing venue, and yeah, it was a really good experience. I think it really helped me get back my confidence that to continue with the rest of this season. So yeah, it was good.